Hey, what's up, y'all? And well, it is time to update the college football top 25 going into week 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and put up the first 8. This will be 25 through 17. So at first we'll start with some others receiving votes in no particular order. We've got Duke, Rutgers, UNLV, Texas A&M, and South Carolina. Guess even though Duke is 5-0, they really haven't played anyone, and I mean they are an underdog to Duke. Underdog to Georgia Tech this week. So we'll have to see if they can beat Georgia Tech first before I can think about ranking them. Let's see, Rutgers, y'all are 4-0. But anyway, y'all keep winning, and eventually I'll have to rank y'all. As for UNLV, I know that they're undefeated, but how about let's see you beat Syracuse, then we'll talk about ranking. And as for A&M, they're very close. They're on a 4-game winning streak after the opening loss to Notre Dame. But I mean, gotta see y'all beat Missouri first this week. And then as for South Carolina, I know that Kentucky beat Ole Miss, and you blew out Kentucky. So I'll tell you what, you beat Ole Miss, and you'll be ranked. All right, so anyway, so at number 25, new to the poll this week, we do have Boise State at 3-1. They are the best Group of 5 team. Their only loss, of course, being a 3-point loss to a top 10 Oregon team. And they just beat Washington State, blew them out, actually. Of course, they do have the star power in running back Ashton Jonty. He's the best running back in college football. Anyways, this week they do host Utah State. And then number 24, I've got Pitt. Yeah, Pitt is 4-0. They were off last week. The last time they played, they hung 70 on Youngstown State. And they do play at North Carolina this week. Now at number 23, Iowa State, they remain undefeated. They're 4-0, 5-0. Just beat Houston 20-0 last week, and they are on a bye this week. Right, I did move them up one spot from last week. Let's see. At number 22, I have Indiana, same place as last week, coming off of a 2-touchdown win against Maryland, as Indiana is now 5-0. guess they are one of the most surprising teams this year. This week, I think they're they do play at Northwestern this week. At number 21, we have Louisville. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but yes, I did end up dropping Oklahoma State and Illinois out of the top 25 after both lost this week. Of course, Oklahoma State got blown out by Kansas State, and Illinois lost to Penn State. But anyway, I do have Louisville, number 21. They did fall 8 places after losing to Notre Dame. They were previously undefeated. This week they do host SMU. All right, so up next, number 20 is Utah. I dropped them down 10 places after losing to Arizona. That was their first loss. I guess their biggest win is Oklahoma State, but that's not, as impressive now. Anyway, and I think Utah is off this week. All right, number 19, we do have Oklahoma. They're up 1 spot. After barely escaping with a win against Auburn. This week, OU is off for their big game against Texas next week. Then number 18 is Arizona. Had them from unranked all the way up to 18 after they beat Utah. And then we do have at number 17, we got Kansas State, 1 spot ahead of Arizona because, we saw Kansas State beat Arizona. They're also coming off a win against Oklahoma State, and they are off this week. All right, so anyways, let's put up the next 8, so 16 through 9. All right, so then at 16, we do have BYU. Of course, they still have a blowout win over Kansas State. And then they just beat Baylor last week. They were able to avoid a letdown after that huge win over K-State. And then I think they are off this week. All right, so anyway, of course I have to have BYU ahead of Kansas State. They beat Kansas State. Kansas State beat Arizona. Arizona beat Oklahoma when they met in a bowl game last year. And Arizona also beat Utah. So here's a sort of explanation of why 16 through 20 is the way they are. Anyway, next, number 15, we do have Notre Dame. Of course, coming off a win against Louisville. That is their best win so far. they do still have the loss to NIU. I think Notre Dame is off this week. Next, 14, we've got Ole Miss. So, yeah, so a little explanation of 11 through 14. Of course, Michigan beat USC, and USC beat LSU, and LSU beat South Carolina. South Carolina blew out Kentucky. Kentucky beat Ole Miss. So that means that Ole Miss has to be ranked behind LSU. And of course, Ole Miss just lost to Kentucky. Of course, they were previously undefeated. This week they do play at South Carolina. LSU last week had a big win against South Alabama. Well, big scoreboard wise, and LSU is off this week. Let's see, and again, I think it's the isn't it the week after, not this week but next week, that Ole Miss and LSU play. So this is going to get settled on the field. All right, 12, we got Southern Cal, and coming off a blowout win over Wisconsin. This week they got they're at Minnesota. Let's see, and then Michigan is number 11. I mean, they barely escaped with a win against Minnesota. And this week they play at Washington in a rematch of the national championship. Okay, so now we're getting into the top 10. At number 10, we do have Mizzou. Now, of course, the reason why they're ranked this high, well, they started out highly ranked to begin with, and they're still undefeated. Even though last time we saw them, they were beating Vandy in overtime. Anyway, they were off this week. This week they are playing at Texas A&M. So this is really a statement game. Anyway, number 9, we got Penn State, same place where they were last week. After they beat Illinois, this week they host UCLA. All right, so now top 8. We got Miami at number 8. Of course, they barely scraped by with the win against Virginia Tech last week. Of course, this week they do play at Cal. Let's see, number 7 is Clemson. I did move them up 4 spots from number 11. Clemson had a blowout win over Stanford. Meanwhile, Miami and Penn State kind of struggled. Utah lost. So this week they do play at Florida State. And at number 7, I do have Georgia. I did drop us down 5 spots from number 2 after the loss to Alabama. We host Auburn this week. No, excuse me. I have Georgia number 6. So yeah, we dropped 4 places, not 5. Anyway, number 5, I have Oregon. They did move up 1 spot with Georgia losing. They did have a blowout win against, who was it? UCLA, and this week they play a Friday night game against Michigan State. Now, number 4, we got Ohio State. Last week, blowout win over Michigan State. And they are off this week. And, next week, we got Ohio State and Oregon are going to play. So, got number 3, you've got Tennessee. They were off last week, coming off of a win against Oklahoma. They do play at Arkansas this week. Number 2, I got Texas. Blowout win over Mississippi State last week. And they are off this week before their showdown with Oklahoma. And then, yes, I did put Alabama all the way up at number 1 after beating Georgia. And they play at Vanderbilt this week. Yeah. So anyway. So, yes, that is going to be it. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And thanks for watching. And I'll see y'all again next time.